So, and then I want to do, how many of you were here when Joe Jakes and I were here and I did the touching song about my Jewish heritage? Pardon? Yeah, so I don't want to give it away. So I would like, so this is a break. This is not a traditional song. So, I talked about my dad, the rabbi, and, and I called him for advice. He's actually passed away 16 years ago, and for a while I didn't have his new phone number, but I Googled it. You don't know? It's a Jewish search engine, Google, right. So I was able to get his new number, called him out and said, "Pop, what is going on in our country? What is happening?" And he says, "Well, it's pretty bad, and I'm looking up, looking down." As I said, "Okay, there are all these conspiracy theories. Everybody's assessing the blame. Who is actually responsible for this disaster?" And this is what he told me. You can sing on the chorus. There's rain in New Orleans. Oh, this is a repeat, okay? There's rain in New Orleans. It's freezing in Maine. Tornadoes in Tulsa. Tsunamis in Spain. Oh, this is, wait. Sorry. Wrong key. That's the North Carolina key. I have to make it higher. Well, so you have the, okay. There's rain in New Orleans. It's freezing in Maine. Tornadoes in Tulsa. Tsunamis in Spain. Why is all this happening? What's your best guess? What is the reason we're in such a mess? It's the Jews. It's always the Jews. We cause global warming. We give you the blues. When we come around, it's always bad news. Whatever goes wrong, it's the Jews. It can be a real problem to tell who's a Jew, 'cause some of us have names Presbyterians used to. So it's not always easy to know when you see one. So someone you like might turn out to be one. It's the Jews. It's always the Jews. We cause global warming. We give you the blues. When we come around, it's always bad news. Whatever goes wrong, it's the Jews. With people of color, you know right away. So you can be careful what you do and you say. But we Jews are so sneaky. Who's to know what to do? The trouble with Jews is we're so much like you. It's the Jews. It's always the Jews. We cause global warming. We give you the blues. When we come around, it's always bad news. Whatever goes wrong, it's the Jews. Now good Christian bankers, kneel and give thanks. while they're not laughing all the way to their banks. 14 million foreclosures, everyone has a name. The banks make their billions, and who gets the blame? It's the Jews. It's always the Jews. We cause global warming. We give you the blues. When we come around, it's always bad news. Whatever goes wrong, it's the Jews. George W. Bush stepped off the plane, looked at New Orleans, drowning in rain. He could have blamed nature, but what did he say? He blamed the levees. It's always that way. It's the Jews. It's always the Jews. We cause global warming. We give you the blues. When we come around, it's always bad news. Whatever goes wrong, it's the Jews. All right. Thank you. All right. So it's getting late. You've been wonderful. We're going to